So what is GitHub? It's really crazy how insanely influential GitHub is and how much its users impact the world, yet most of the people have only heard of TikTok. But not as developers. Developers are probably more committed to GitHub than they are to others. Let's find out why and how you should definitely use GitHub. Check out my Black Friday sale. It's at store.rebeloper.com, and if you take a look at the all Rebeloper products and use the coupon code BlackFriday50, you will get 50% off. And go ahead and check out all of my other products to have a 30% off with the coupon code BlackFriday30. It's at store.rebeloper.com, and the coupon codes are BlackFriday50 for all of my products and BlackFriday30 for the other products individually sold for 30% off. Go ahead and check it out. Rebeloper, store.rebeloper.com. Okay, so today we are going to talk about GitHub. So what is GitHub? Why you should use it? Well, basically, if you are preparing a new project, then you should definitely think about storing it somewhere. And that somewhere is usually on your computer. But what if something happens to your computer? What if you delete that file? Well, you should have a backup, and that is where GitHub comes in. And XCODE is really nicely integrated with GitHub, so you can have a remote repository of your project. And today I'm going to show you how you can create one, how you can manage one, and also how you can create a Swift package so you can use it in your other XCODE projects also. So without further ado, let's start a brand new XCODE project. I will click on create new XCODE project. Let me just move this in here so we can see it much clearly. This will be an iOS app, for example, and what I'm going to do is in this project, it's going to be a builder project for our Swift package. Okay, so what I'm going to do on that Swift package is a little bit of helper on the SWIFTUI's frame view modifier. So why don't we just name this frame builder. Okay, everything, this is a convention for me. Everything that is going to build up a Swift package is called builder. So frame builder, I'm not going to use storyboard. I'm going to use SwiftUI and Swift as a language. Let's click on next and let's select, maybe desktop is the perfect way to add that. Now, here you have source control. So create a Git repository on my Mac. Now, what is that? Well, that is going to create a Git repository locally. It's going to be on your Mac, so we can use that to create a remote repository of your project. So you want to make sure that you check this check mark. If not, I will show you how to do that. Well, actually, you can just do that under the source control later on if you wish to. But make sure you create Git repository on my Mac is checked. So let's create that. Okay, so let's remove all of the stuff that we actually do not need. And now you have a local Git repository of your application. And that's actually near your project. It's hidden. You can unhide it if you wish to. It's a Git file, but basically that's it. So how do we actually make some changes? What happens right now? So what I'm going to do is just create this simple public extension. I do have it right over here. So what I'm going to do is just create a new file. So let's create a new file. It will be a Swift file. Let's click on next right over here. View plus is what I want to name this. And then let's import SwiftUI. And then let's have that public extension right over there. And basically this is what I'm going to add in for now. As you can see, some letters appeared right over here. An A for the View Plus that has been added, and an M for our project that's modified. And you will see some other letters like R removed or the updated, all of that right over here. Now this is source control in action. Now what if this is an added file? What if we wanted to say hello GitHub? There we go. Now you see you have this blue line right over here, and if you click on it you can show the changes for the text that I have changed. Also you can discard the change. I want to say GitHub. Okay, so that has been my only change, I have changed one file and I have added another one. Okay, so how do we actually save this to our local Git? Well, it said it is a commit. So you just go under source control. I don't know if you can see this, but it's half there. You want to commit. So select commit. And there we go. We have selected all of the files that have been modified, basically, even added. So what I'm going to do is just have to add in a commit message. So let's see, view plus. I'm not going to bother for now. Make sure that you do add something much more descriptive. And then I've commit these 3 files. Now this has been committed onto my local Git. So whenever I open up my project, I will be able to see that. Also, because, you know, macOS already saves all of this, but now I have a Git chain right over here. This was the initial Git, and then I have this view plus. So if I double click on it, I can take a look at the changes, what have been made, and let me just make this a little bit clearer. There we go. And then just added this new file and in the project, what has been changed. So now you know who changed it and so forth. So this is really, really useful when you are working on your project. Okay, so one last thing is how to set up your account in XCODE. I already have that set up. So what you want to go is select on the menu bar XCODE and then settings. And this settings will pop up, and just go under accounts. Now, if you haven't set up GitHub, then you want to go under plus and then set up an HTTPS and then follow along the steps so you get a key and all of that stuff. After that, you will be able to create local remote repositories from your local Git through XCODE. And that is what we are going to do next. So this is saved on our machine, that's right. But how do we actually create remote repository? Well, if you just go right over here, repositories, and then unfold that, you will see that we have a lot of branches. We're also going to talk about branches in just a second. But for now, if you right click on it, on the frame builder, you will see that we have a new frame builder, remote. Okay, so let's do that. Let's create a new frame builder remote. Select your account, make it public or private. It depends on you. I mean, just make it public. Why not? Let's create that. And because everything has been set up, now we will have a remote version of our Git on GitHub. So how do we navigate here? Well, we just go right click again, and now we have a view on GitHub. So we can just click on that. It will open up Safari, and then you will see your project on GitHub. Now, if you haven't signed up for GitHub, it's at github.com, and please do so, and then you will have access to all of this. Okay, so we can just go right over here and take a look at the changes. You have these files. Also, we have View Plus right over here. So you have a remote version of your applications, which is really, really great. Okay, so that's how you set it up. Now, how to commit, push, and pull. So we want to talk a little bit about all of the functionality that you can do, because all we did now is just commit it to a local version and then created that remote on GitHub. So what I'm going to do is just go maybe right over here, hello GitHub, and just remove that exclamation. So we have a little bit of change. Okay, so now we have modified our project. I just go again to source control and commit. So the same thing. And now I want to, if it hasn't already been checked, then just check it. And now you will be able, well, let's just have this removed exclamation mark. And now we have available this check. So push to remote. I will do that. And now you can select where the branch you want to push on it. Usually is just selecting the one that you are working on, so that's fine. And then you want to commit one file and push. So if you forgot to do that, so let's just add that exclamation mark back and then just go commit and let's just select that and then added exclamation mark. And let's say we forgot to check this push to remote. I want to commit one file. Then this new version is only local. So it's not on the remote side, so on GitHub. So let's just double check on it. Let's just go and refresh our page right over here. Let's just go into the content view. And as you can see, GitHub without the exclamation mark inside the text. But our local version is right over here. So what we want to do is just push this version up. So under source control, just select push and then select your branch. Main is the current one. That's the main branch. And now let's just refresh again. And let's just go into the content view. And you will see now GitHub is with the exclamation mark indeed. Okay, so that's how you commit, push. But what about if I wanted to, let's say, open this up in another computer? Well, you would need to clone this version. So let me just do that. Let's just go under GitHub. And let's assume we are on a different computer. And then I just go under code. And then either open with XCODE if you have XCODE installed on your computer, or open with GitHub Desktop if you have that installed on your computer. Either one will work. If you download the zip, you will not have access to committing, pushing, pulling, all of that stuff. So make sure that you do that with XCODE. So let's open up with that with XCODE. Let's allow that. And there we go. And then I would just drop this onto my documents. Why not? It has to be on a different folder so we don't have issues with that. So let's clone this. So what I'm doing right now is actually grabbing that code and cloning it onto my computer. So downloading it. Trust and open. Let's resize this. Okay, I would just make this a little bit smaller so I know this is the cloned version right over here. Okay, so now we have Frame Builder, and what I'm going to do is just take a look at on the contents. Let's just remove that. Okay, it says GitHub exclamation mark, hello GitHub, cloned. So now I'm going to clone this. Okay, so again, source control, command. Let's just check that file, cloned, and push to remote, commit one file and push. Okay, this is something like you would do on a different computer, or somebody else would work on the same branch. Okay, so I said hello GitHub cloned, and then I can take a look at it on Safari. Let's again refresh this, and let's see under Frame Builder, content view. Now we have hello GitHub cloned, indeed. But if I go back to my first original version, you see it just says hello GitHub. So how do we update to the latest version? Well, and as you can see here, we have an arrow pointing down. It's just noticing that you need to pull down some changes on the main branch. Okay, so we are going to do that. Under source control, you just go pull. So pull the region /main. Let's pull that. And now we should be able, there we go, we have the latest version of our branch, which is really great. Now we can collaborate. All you have to do is make sure that whenever you open up your XCODE project and you presume that somebody else has been working on the code base on that branch, you want to pull first down the latest changes and then work on it. Okay, this is fine if you are both working on one branch. And currently we were working on the main branch, the two of us, the two projects that, you know, one was the original and the other was cloned. But the way that you definitely should work is through branches. So let me just show you how and why you should use a branch. Well, let's say you want to incorporate some new stuff into your project, and main, the branch, this project works flawlessly. This is perfect. It's already on the App Store. We don't want to mess around with it. We don't want to break anything. So when we are trying to add a new feature, for example, we want to create a new branch. So what we are going to do is grab our current branch, the main, and then right click on it, and let's create a new branch from main. So what I'm going to do here is just maybe just have dev. It could be anything. Make sure that you don't have spaces right over here, but this should be really descriptive. Maybe just adding that feature like localization, or adding a camera, or whatever. So I'm just naming it dev. While XCODE 14 has a little bit of issues, now we have the two current branches, but if you just switch back and forth, there we go. Dev is the current one. Also, you can see it right over here that you are on that current branch. Again, if you are opening this up, even the branches, in the morning when you are starting work on it, make sure that you pull the latest version. So now we have this dev branch, but this is again just local for now. So what I'm going to do is do some changes, and again I'm going to go into the text field and dev. So hello GitHub dev. Again, do the commit, and then check that and dev branch, and then push to remote, and now you see the branch that it's suggesting is origins/dev, and it says we are going to create that. Let's do that. Commit one file and push. And now if I go, well, actually we just simply want to go into our Safari and let's see where that branch is. Of course, we have this new alert that dev has recent pushes that less than a minute ago. We can compare and pull, create a pull request. We're going to do that in just a second. But for now, let's take a look at the branches. So if you just go right over here, click on it, you see we have the main, that's the default, and then we have dev. So let's select dev, and then go into our content view again, and you see GitHub dev is right over here for our text, which is really great. So, okay, we worked on this really nicely. Let's just have also maybe remove that exclamation mark. Let's just commit that. Removed exclamation mark, push to remote. Now you see that the dev is just pushing to the dev, it's not creating it. Let's commit one file. So, okay, we are done with this branch, with this new feature. We'd really like it. What we want to do next is just merge this to our main branch so we can just launch it on the App Store with this new feature. Okay, so what we want to do is go on into Safari. And here you see we have all of the changes. Well, actually, I want to refresh so I can see the removed exclamation. Okay, so now it says this branch is 2 commits ahead of main, which is indeed 2 commits ahead of main. What we want to do is create a pull request. Now, we already have this compare and pull request right over here. If you don't have it, what you have to do is go under pull requests, and then create a new pull request. Also, you can see that we have this compare and pull request right over here, but don't bother with this. Maybe this will be available. Maybe if you come back here a week later, it will not. You want to create a new pull request. New pull request. And then what you want to do is have a base, that's main, and then compare to dev. And the thing here is that you see this arrow right over here. The dev is going into the main. And this is going to check if we are able to merge. We are. Also, you can take a look at the changes that are. So cloned exclamation mark will be changed to dev. That's a minus on the clone part, a plus on the dev part. And there are 2 commits. You can take a look at all of the commits if you choose to. So just click right over here, what has been changed, all of that stuff. There is 1 contributor. All of this is documented, so it's really, really great. So now that we are satisfied as the owner of this project, we can create, sorry, not the owner, the actual who is building wants to merge this branch onto the main. We create a pull request to the owner. So the pull request is dev. That is what I want to merge into main. And then just create a pull request. and that pull request will be created. Now it's just going to check for is it able to be merged easily. Now you ask the owner of the project, okay, I did create this pull request, and it's right over here. You see there's a 1. The owner will see that. And of course, because I'm also the owner, I can see it right now. The owner can merge the pull request into main. And he will see that, okay, this is the description dev. These are the commits that we want to merge into main. Okay, if he's not satisfied, then he can comment some. Also, he can close the pull request altogether. But we are going to merge the pull request. We are fine with that. So I clicked on merge pull request. I want to confirm again. So confirm the merge. There we go. We have merged the dev branch to our main branch. Also, we have the option to delete the branch. I definitely want to delete the branch because I'm not going to use it anymore. So what I'm going to do is delete the branch. Also, you can restore the branch if you want to. I'm just going to leave it as is. Now it's time to check out our project on GitHub again. Now we have main, and that's the only thing. Also, you see, we have these new commits inside main. So let's go again, take a look at the content view, and we have GitHub dev, which is really nice. We merged the dev branch into the main branch. Okay, so there's one last thing. What about our project? So you see, we are still on the current, so the current branch is still dev. Well, because you know that it has been merged into main, you no longer can access it. What you want to do is just switch back to main. So let's just switch back to main. And again, you will see that the local version of main, let's just go right over here, is still GitHub cloned, which is fine. First of all, I want to delete the dev version, so dev branch. Let's delete that. And because I know that we have been changing our main branch, I want to pull all the latest changes. Source control pull. Let's just pull that down, and now there we go. We have a GitHub dev on the main branch. Okay, and that is how you operate like 90% of the time with a GitHub. Now, what I want to do is just use this file right over here, and maybe we have this on this particular project, but I want to have this available through all of my projects. So what I'm going to do is create a Swift package. So let's do that. Under the menu in XCODE, go File, New, and Package. So this will open up a new XCODE project. And let me just have this. And I will name this Frame Plus. Okay, it's just frame plus. I'm going to add a new frame. And also, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you what this nice view extension does. Okay, frame plus, let's create that. And that's okay. What I also want to do is just do some cleanup right over here. Let's have frame plus, test removed. There we go. Also, if you noticed, I did create a local git. And then under sources, frame plus, let's just remove frame plus altogether. Let's delete that. Let's move to trash. And then let's create a new file. We do need a file. That's why we have that error. A Swift file. Again, it will be a view plus because it's an extension on the view. Let's have this view plus right over here. Let's have SWIFTUI imported. And what I'm going to do is just grab this public extension. And for now, I'm not going to go into why you have to have this as public. I already have tutorials on creating a Swift package. So this has to be public so you can access frame. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's not on Mac OS. So what I want to do is any iOS device. Okay, and then I want to go under the package. And what I'm going to do here is just paste in the platforms iOS version 16, macOS version 12, it could be 13, it depends on what you want to support. Okay, so let's hit Command B so we know that everything is okay. Well, actually it is not. Let's see, view is only available on iOS 13. Okay, let's change that. Let's just go, well, actually, I think it did not catch up. Let's hit Command B again. Build has succeeded. Okay, so now that everything is okay, you see there has been a lot of modified files and some added files. So what I'm going to do is under source control, well, actually, first of all, I'm going to create a remote repository for this. So right click on it, new frame plus remote. Again, I'm going to make it public, so we should be able to access it. So we can use it in our other projects. And then I'm going to commit. So source control commit. All of those files are there. First commit, let's just select push to remote, commit for files and push. I know this is really fast for now, maybe, but basically that's, you already should know by now how this is done. Now that we have this commit, what we want to do is tag it. So tag that. And usually you just go and start off with 0.0.1. So let's create that. And then under source control, you want to push also this tag up. So include tags, you want to check that. It's really important. So then you just push. And now let's take a look at our project. So again, let's view on GitHub. And we have frame plus right over here. All of this, really nice. And now you have this code button and you want to grab the HTTPS. So copy that out. Let's go back to our XCODE project, now the original one. And let me just go under our project, project again, package dependencies, plus right over there. Let's just paste that in. And then up to the next major version, that's fine, add package. As you can see, XCODE is really integrated for using GitHub like this. So we have our frame plus right over here. Now we can just remove. So we're just going to delete that. Let's move to trash. And we should be able to access our frame plus. So what does this do? Well, if I build and run, you will see that we have hello GitHub deb. Let's just see that. So we can have a little bit of comparison. Let me just move this. There we go. And it just has a globe and then hello GitHub deb. That's fine. Okay. But what if I actually want to have a color right over here? Color dot maybe indigo. Let's see that. We already have a padding, which is nice. Okay. But I want to set a frame for it. So I want to have a frame of width and height. So width. Okay, let's have maybe 200 and height of 200. Let's see how that looks like. There we go. We have that width and height. But this is kind of tedious. Width and height, type it out again and again. So what I do instead, I use my newly created Swift package. So I'm just going to import frame plus. And then instead of width and height, I'm going to go and have frame and square. So that will be square 200. Let's build and run again. And now we will see the same thing, much nicer, but now we have access to that Swift package. Of course, now we have all of these modified files, so we can just go source control, commit, added, frame, plus, push to remote, added, let's just have that, right? And then just commit all of that, which is really nice. So one final thing, we want to maybe double check that we have that available right over here under frame builder. There we go. We have added frame plus. So that is how you can use GitHub with XCODE. It's really, really helpful. Now, if you did like this video, go ahead and check out the sponsor of today's video, and that is me, and that is a Black Friday sale, store.rebeloper.com. Go ahead and check out coupon codes Black Friday 50 on all of our products. So this one right over here. Or if you want to buy only one product or two, like individual ones, go ahead and use the coupon code Black Friday 30 to get 30% off. And if you did like this video, I'm really sure that you will like to learn how you can monitor your network connectivity in iOS in a SWIFTUI app. Go ahead, the video is right over here. Check it out.